Yo, what is good, y'all? Kip up here, and here we are with a little conversation on balance hackmons, more specifically the illusion suspect test. Now, I do want to say I did get Rex. I'm not gonna show it right now, but I'm just gonna say suspect kills me is my account. So if anyone checks this who's official and wants to make sure it's me, guess what? That's me. Suspect kills me. That was my account. Anyway, I do want to talk about illusion, why it's being suspected, and what I kind of believe what my vote should be, and based off the rules and how I see it, why I chose my certain opinion. So let's begin first with the definition of illusion. Illusion is an ability. I was gonna say a Pokemon. It's an ability where the Pokemon gets to totally copy the Pokemon in the back of the party. So in that case, let's say this was my illusion mon right here, Mega Kangaskhan, and I had Giratina as my 6th Pokemon. It would look exactly like Giratina coming in. Would look like, the same type, the same ability, everything like that until it was hit. So that is basically the definition of illusion, right? And I want to go over to here, and I want to go into Flint's conversation as to what makes an ability bannable. So an ability ban should be considered based on a splashable ability. Basically, it just means you can splash onto anything, regardless of what it does, its stats, move spread, and that's what makes it broken. It can be thrown onto anything to make it extremely better. It doesn't matter what it's running. Just the ability itself makes it more viable. And the extreme augmentation, the capabilities are difficult or impossible to check or counter. This implies that the power originates from the ability, and that the choice of the Pokemon is just totally irrelevant. So pure power. So you throw pure power. This is a fantastic example because you could throw it on anything. It doubles its attack. You could pick a Weedle and it will do decent damage as a result of pure power. Or I guess not Weedle, but you know what I'm saying. You get the point. The point is that the power doesn't come from how you play the Pokemon, the moveset, or anything innovative. It comes from literally the ability that makes it good. And this, to me, is where illusion is a little bit gray. This is where it's a little bit gray. Because a lot of the time, the Pokemon with illusion is a very strong Pokemon being disguised as a weaker one. So you could argue that the power comes from the Pokemon itself. It can be disguised as something, but the power comes from the literal power of the Pokemon. But you could also say, because it is illusion and you can't tell what Pokemon it is, that's the thing. You go into your suspected counter just to get blown away. So I feel like there are two different sides to that, and I'll kind of address what I believe in a minute. But I also want to go into, as I'm disconnected from everything, I want to go into what kind of abuses this. So to me, the best abuser of illusion in the entire meta, the entire thing, not even close, is Kangaskhan. Specifically Kangaskhanite. If it had illusion to begin with, you can disguise it as anything, lead with it. All of a sudden, you are hit with a Mega Evolution of Mega Kangaskhan, and it has Parental Bond now. So it can Nature's Madness, it can Nightshade, it can Seismic Toss. It can do anything it really wants to your Pokemon. And so to me, this is the best abuser because of its ability to just immediately Mega and take more than half off of you just turn 1. So that's probably the best abuser. Next up, this is also another abuser. This is just some of the strong Pokemon, really, that can use it. And you can argue with the splashable ability, and this is another reason why it's hugely important. Splashable, it can't be slapped onto nearly any Pokemon, but this tends to be a fairly offensive meta, so you can say it can be slapped onto nearly any offensive Pokemon. So you can absolutely interpret it in that way, and you can say that is broken. Anyway, back to this. Either Mega Mewtwo's can use this. It can have a stupid broken moveset. So you go into your Registeel counter. If it was disguised as Registeel, you go into your Zygarde counter, and you just get blown the hell away by a much stronger Pokemon. And even then, if it's not using moves that are weird for, say, a Registeel, So, like, if this thing, I don't even know what most Registeals run. Probably like knockoff, Spore, Seismic, U-turn, Shore Up, etc. If it used a move that isn't totally out of question with whatever Pokemon you're using, all of a sudden you're like, is this even an illusion Pokemon? So there's even more problems with that. So we have abusers here. We have Red Orb Groudon, which is basically, Primal Groudon. It can use illusion. That's a mod. Something a mod, I believe it was Volcanion is good, told me he used all the time to just break stuff. So that's something. I talked to another mod who used Mega Tyranitar, and I feel bad that I don't remember the name of someone. I just kind of asked in the OM chat. But they did mention Mega T-Tar, they mentioned Mega Garchomp, and I've seen Mega Garchomp a bunch of times with it. By that, you can also say Mega Ray, etc., etc. All the offensive threats in the tier can absolutely use this ability. Send you out into your counter, your Magic Bounce Mon on, a Giratina, and then just blow you away. So there's that. So these are just kind of examples. This is what it could be disguised into. I should have named this disguise as well. But anyway, that's the argument there. But I also want to go over to this post. Before I even go into my opinion, I know I'm explaining a lot. I'm just rehashing things that a lot of people know. But at the same time, I do want to go in depth with, what makes it bannable. Stuff like that. Just so that everyone can kind of be on the same page. We can all have a conversation. Also, if you think otherwise, talk in the comments. Absolutely. Send comments. Join my Discord. I'll have the Discord in the link in the description below, etc. Just talk to me about it because I would absolutely love to hear you guys' opinions. But I did absolutely love this this post here on the suspect. I'll drop the suspect post, in the description down below. But he did mention that it's not broken. He said it's not broken, but it is uncompetitive, and uncompetitive means it's just the 50-50 aspect of it, as he says. He goes into how it's just really risky to use. Like if illusion doesn't work, it puts the user at a huge disadvantage. But at the same time, it's hard to get in all that. But at the same time, if it does work, it can reap massive rewards. It can mean, a defensive wall gone turn 2, when you have everything else. It could mean something severely crippled. It could mean so many other things. So the risk/reward area, while that is also gray, that's his argument, where it's so risky to use, the reward is kind of equal to the risk. So I do understand that. I absolutely understand this. I think this is a great post that goes deep into why it could be broken and why it's probably not, in his opinion. So hard to get in. Rocks make damage difficult to really, well, not difficult, but easy to really track, so that you can tell what's real and what isn't, etc., etc. So I think this is a absolutely fantastic post. However, I do disagree, and this is why. I do think it is uncompetitive. I think the 50-50 aspect of it, especially even on lead Pokemon, is just so great, where if you don't hit something turn 1, or if you don't switch out turn 1, you could just be screwed for the rest of the game. So I feel like even just leading with it is uncompetitive. I think it's highly splashable because you can put it on any offensive mon, and it makes it better. Like, regardless of role, isn't really what you want to look at. Moveset maybe, but you can throw it onto any offensive mon, and you can screw someone switching, and that's a problem because you will start making terrible plays. You will make awful plays just to see if it's an illusion or not, or go into other bonds thinking, oh, this isn't an illusion, there's no way it's an illusion. You get bopped. So I mean, it forces awful plays, and your opponent, or you, if you're the one facing it, you may not even know they're bad plays. So I think it just forces people into such bad plays without them even knowing it's a bad play. It's just fairly uncompetitive. Augmentation, I would argue for some Pokemon that the power originates from the ability. One example is Red Orb Groudon. You don't see just straight Primal Groudon anymore. You really don't. Because, since it's banned, since it can't be Primal and have its abilities, you just don't see it that much. I do see it sometimes, but this brings it back in a big way. This brings it back in an absolutely huge way. You see Kangaskhan, even though I would always argue it was slightly broken beforehand, being even more broken now. So I think even more power is given to the most powerful Pokemon, and considering there's other things that make this even stronger, so like, I mean, just such strong moves, access to everything from Sunsteel Strike to all the stab moves you could ever want, etc., etc. Oh yeah, and this is improved. This also makes sure that the other Pokemon is improved. The illusion Pokemon is improved, which sucks. So just with all of that, I don't think it's healthy for the tier. It's not broken. I want to say that 1,000 times over. It is not broken. It is very very highly uncompetitive because everything's a 50-50. You're forced into bad plays without knowing that you're forced into bad plays without knowing they are bad plays, and it just generally seems unfair, especially if someone just isn't thinking. Like there were several times in that stupid suspect ladder where I just wasn't thinking. So like, someone would bring their Registeel out, and I'd be like, oh, I'll just go into my Magic Bounce Yveltal, my Magic Bounce Defensive Yveltal with Beak Blast, and then it ended up being like an Ice Beam Mega Mewtwo Y, and I just got screwed immediately. So there were times where it was just like, oh, well, that's great. There goes one of my answers. The game is now over. So that's my opinion. I'd love to hear you guys's. I'm personally going to vote ban. I do have all the Rex. I am at 80% dead on. I played about 41 games, something like that. But yeah, I would love to hear you guys' opinions. I'd love to hear you guys just generally talk about it. Other things that may need to be banned, which is actually seemingly a very big conversation on the rest of the suspect. But yeah, and I encourage you guys to ladder. I believe the ladder ends, what was it, August 5th? August 5th. So it's very doable. I did it in 2 to 3 days. You can do it in probably 2 to 3 days or less if you're a good player, because I'm not good. But thank you guys so much for listening, talking, watching, everything. Let me know what you think. Let me know about BH as a whole. I can pass teams. I can help. Things like that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. I do stream as well. My Twitch is in the description. The Discord is in the description. This will be in the description, etc., etc. Thank you guys so much, and I'll talk to you guys soon.